Pretty much anytime Dyson releases a product, we all take notice. Well, I certainly do. But when it's a desk lamp that costs $850, are we intrigued at the prospect of the technology or just wondering who's buying it?
Dyson has a well-deserved reputation for taking everyday products and improving on them by turning them into, as I think the New York Times put it, generational status symbols. And while my hands-on reviews have shown that Dyson has definitely made vacuums and blow dryers better, can it possibly do the same with the humble desk lamp? Meet the Dyson SolarCycle Morph.
In this review, I'm going to try the light out here in my home. I'll show you what it can do that makes it special and Dyson-worthy. I'll talk about whether it really does bring more to the table or to the desk. I'll wrap things up with the pros and the cons and let you know if I think I can recommend this light for you.
First off, I want to say two things about this lamp to frame this review. The first is to address the very high price of the lamp. At about $649 US or $849 Canadian, this lamp is going to be out of budget for most of us. I'm hyper aware of that, particularly in these budget-conscious times.
The reason I'm reviewing it is for the second thing I want to say about this lamp, and that's that it's not just your run-of-the-mill lamp or even an average smart light. Dyson positions this as a fully automated lighting solution that dynamically adjusts its light based on local daylight.
But does it live up to the hype, and could you make a case either for the automation features or even just to pick it up as a cool piece of furniture or architecture for your office if you want to splurge? That's what I'll evaluate in this review.
And lastly, in the housekeeping department, I'd like to thank Dyson for sending me a sample of this light. While the company has provided it to me for this review, it hasn't asked for or gotten permission to view the story in advance or to have any input, and I got to test it and review it as I wanted, so you can consider these thoughts my own.
Let's dial in on what you're getting here. Now, calling the SolarCycle Morph a desk lamp is like calling Tesla a car. Accurate, sure, but there's a lot more to both the story and the development behind it.
Yes, Dyson SolarCycle Morph is an articulating desk lamp with LED light. It has a handful of special features that set it apart, so I'll go over the list quickly and then dive into each one in detail. The first thing it has is automatic daylight adjustment. There's motion detection. It can use warm or cool tones of light. It has an adaptable design for task or ambient light. It has app connectivity and personalization, and there's built-in charging. But first, let's get it unboxed, assembled, and set up. When I first opened the box, I assumed the light was in one piece, but realized fast it's actually going to require assembly. Fortunately, that's pretty simple. There are only two parts that you have to connect. You'll just screw the light arm into the heavy weighted base and secure it with an included screw. Then connect the power cable, which sits perfectly inside a grooved channel in the base of the lamp. Once assembled, the lamp is quite heavy, which I like because it's not going to go anywhere even if I brush past it. The next thing to do will be to connect the lamp with the My Dyson app so you can take advantage of feature number 1, and that's the daylight adjustment. All you really need to do is choose to add a product and then follow the steps inside the app, which will pair the light to your phone. From there, you need to grant permission for the light to view your location for those daylight adjustments, and then you're ready to use it. There are controls both on the lamp, and you can use the app to make adjustments too. I will say I actually thought the controls lived on the side of the lamp arm where you can see these little small icons, but the truth is there are physical buttons that actually live underneath the light arm, which keeps them from marring the ultra minimalist design.
Let's get to the special features of this light, starting with the adjustable daylight. Unlike your usual smart lights that need you to set up a daily schedule, the SolarCycle Morph here uses a mix of your GPS location and the local time with an algorithm that adjusts the light to match the patterns of daylight wherever you are.
While all this sounds high-tech and sophisticated, all that it means is that it just adjusts the type of lighting to what it thinks you need at certain points of the day, a feature you may have already seen in other lower-priced desk lamps. I'll give you a bit of a demonstration just so you can see the shift in tone and color. In a nutshell, it's going to automatically adjust the light to be warmer or more yellow or orange in the morning and evening, and more blue or cooler through the middle parts of the day.
Now, there's all kinds of stuff that's been written about having more of a realistic daylight cycle even indoors and how that can help you feel more productive, adapt to your natural circadian rhythms, and even boost mood. Now, while everyone's going to have their own opinion on this, I can say the light did adapt quite well across the daylight spectrum here in my office. When I started work really early in the morning, warmer orange light was similar to sunrise, while by noon the bluer light was really bright and helped keep the room nicely illuminated. Now, the effect is extremely subtle and you're not necessarily going to notice it changing color throughout the day. Now, was it making me wildly productive? I don't think I can credit the light with that, but I can say it is a pretty cool effect and overall I enjoyed it.
The second special feature I'll touch on here is actually one of my favorites. I'm often in and out of my office through the day and prone to leaving the lights on. If I enable the motion detection feature on this light by pushing the motion detection button underneath, the light will automatically shut off when it hasn't detected movement for more than 5 minutes.
I think this is fantastic and it worked really well. As soon as I would step back into the office, the light would softly dim up and come to life again. The only slight downside about this feature is that sometimes if I was sitting at my desk, sitting still, reading something, there wouldn't be enough motion to keep the light on and it would sometimes go out on its own. Not a huge deal since I was just able to wave in the general direction of the light and it would turn on again. But perhaps it could use a secondary motion sensor somewhere.
Feature 3 is adjustable warm or cool light. I'm a huge fan of warm light in the house, and I can either touch to instantly switch from warm to cool or use the adjustable slider. Similarly, there's also a brightness slider next to it where I can adjust the brightness quickly. Now, I will note the top surface of the lamp does get hot after a while, not dangerously so, but it is pretty noticeable. These controls are also available in the Dyson app if you want to get a little more precision than the small 1-inch touch bars on top allows. The fourth thing to talk about is the design. It's sleek, futuristic, and guaranteed to make your desk look like it's ready for a magazine shoot. Most of the lamp is made of aluminum with some hard polycarbonate plastic, but it does feel really strong and durable, and it doesn't look plasticky at all. I will say the lamp is a little taller at 19 inches in height, and the light arm is a lot longer than I expected, reaching out to 25 inches. Now, while this seems like overkill, I quickly realized this could be the perfect size for a desk lamp. The articulating arm has the ability to reach right out over your work surface and lets you place the light almost anywhere you need it. The light arm swivels 100% of the way around the base, and the top part of the arm can also be turned to place light downward, sideways, or even up towards the ceiling, and at almost any configuration in between. You can literally get light anywhere in your office with this lamp. It can also serve as an ambient light thanks to its resting position with the LED facing into the stem, giving you just a soft glow.
In addition to offering remote control over the light, the My Dyson app gives you 3 lighting presets. There's Study, Relax, and Precision. You can also create custom presets for yourself that you can tune according to your preferences.
The final key feature I'll touch on is extremely convenient, yet I think it could be improved on even more. In the stem of the light is a USB-C charging port. I actually think this is really handy, particularly as a tech blogger who's often charging multiple devices, but I wish the cable connection wasn't in the stem, but in the base instead, to keep the light from looking cluttered. And since Dyson is willing to add power ports into the light, I would suggest they go all the way and add 3 or 4 connections in the base and make the base a Qi wireless charging surface where I could put things like earbuds or small items to juice up.
Overall, I have to say I thought this light was pretty gimmicky and overpriced on the surface. Now that I've had a chance to spend a couple of weeks with it, there is no chance of me letting it go unless someone pries it out of my cold dead hands. I have to say I have fallen unexpectedly in love with this light, and I think it's actually wildly cool. Let's go over the pros and the cons as I see them.
On the pro side, the design of this light is gorgeous. It offers both warm and cool colors of light, and its adaptable daylight feature can really help keep you in sync with your circadian rhythms. With touch controls on the light or in the app, you decide how to interact with it, and with the absolute multitude of ways you can place this light or aim it as a task or ambient lamp, it's incredibly versatile. The addition of a charging port is just the icing on an already fantastic cake. What are the downsides? It's pretty easy to say the price is probably the biggest detriment. It's not what you'd call affordable, but I also think this lamp is speaking to folks who are likely to have a Herman Miller office chair and a selling sunset desk, the people who don't want a lamp, they want a statement. The only other downside I would point out is that I don't love the location of the charging port, and I'd like more charging and power options in a version 2. And I did find the top bar of the light did get hot if it was on for a long time.
In short, if this light is in your budget, I would advise you to add it to your cart immediately. Dyson SolarCycle Morph sells for about $6.49 US or $8.49 Canadian, and you can get it from Dyson or Best Buy. And if you want to see some other products Dyson has made better or made into generational icons, you can check out my review of the Dyson Supersonic Hairdryer or one of their iconic vacuums right now.